The Toronto Raptors just announced that they have released forward D.J Wilson in order to sign 23-year-old guard Armoni Brooks on a short-term deal ahead of Sunday night's game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The news came after sophomore guard Malachi Flynn, who was filling in well for the ailing Fred VanVleet, was listed as questionable for Saturday's game against the Cavaliers due to a strained left hamstring. After being released by the Houston Rockets at the deadline, Brooks signed with the Atlanta Hawks G League affiliate, the College Park Skyhawks. As a professional, Brooks has been known as a three-point shooter, even though there is still some uncertainty when it comes to his long-term NBA potential. Because of that, and given the Raptors' elite player development program and its track record of unlocking the potential of many such prospects, it's no surprise that Masai Ujiri and Nick Nurse were attracted to his services. Brooks is a native of Waco, Texas, and a graduate of the University of Houston. He was waived by the Rockets in last month's NBA trade deadline. However, the 6'3" guard did average 6.2 points, 2 rebounds in 16.8 minutes in the NBA with the Houston Rockets in 41 games this season. By the way, I did just notice that only about 5.2% of you that are actually watching this video right now are subscribed to the channel. So if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. It really does make a world of difference. And smash that like button while you're at it, so that this video can get to the right sets of eyes. Now, he did shoot 34.7%, which is not the best percentage in the world, of course. And he actually did manage to score in double digits 10 times, including a season-high 21 points on December 10th at Milwaukee. Now, these performances were most likely a factor in the signing, as the Raptors may be able to polish off some of those kinks in his armor, making the young guard a potential long-term asset if Toronto deems it worthwhile. It's also worth noting that prior to this signing, Malachi Flynn scored in double digits in each of his last 4 games, all of which have been starts. He had a season-high 20 points and 8 assists in Toronto's loss to the Orlando Magic on Friday night. And after a shaky start to the season, averaging just 3.1 points per game on terrible efficiency, Flynn's last 4 games have been a welcome sight. Although the main reason that he did get the chance in the minutes that he's gotten was due to steady Freddy sitting out due to nagging knee soreness, which has been bothering him for quite some time now. And you got to feel for Flynn because he's been craving minutes since the beginning of the season. The timing of his hamstring strain couldn't have come at a worse time for him, as he was finally getting playing time, and he was finally proving that the version that we saw of him at the end of last season was no flash in the pan. With key starter and defensive anchor OG Anunoby out with a fractured finger, and steady Freddy continuing to sit out, which seems like it's more precautionary at this point, but understandably so, as this is the final stretch of the season, the team's apparent need for reinforcements has once again reared its ugly head. And this isn't the best of news for a Raptors team that has struggled to remain healthy with consistency for most of this season. But there is some good news, however, because the injuries to Anunoby and VanVleet are not that significant, and it seems more precautionary at this point that they'll be sitting out, especially when it comes to Fred VanVleet. And this definitely seems like a wise move by the Raptors, and they're not forcing the issue and pushing their key cogs to play through their injuries. And this is despite their intentions of making a postseason run this year. And especially with this time being a crucial time for teams with such aspirations as squads attempt to solidify their place in a tight Eastern Conference playoff race, I think it's experience that's paying off for the Raptors here than anything else. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens from here on out, as the Raptors jockey to solidify their place in a tight Eastern Conference race. Now, I did recently expand this channel to cover other NBA teams. Now, of course, the Raptors will always be in my heart and my favorite team, but since I love NBA basketball, I've decided to cover other teams as well. And having said this, I'm sure you guys are already aware of the disaster in LA right now for the Lakers. I recently did make a take about that talks about why Russell Westbrook has caused the Lakers to fail, and I put a lot of time into it, so I really recommend you guys take a look at that. I dove into some advanced metrics as well, so if you're not just a Raptors fan but an NBA fan in general, you really do not want to miss that one.